What can I do when my kiddo gets stuck in like a negative thought loop? Well, one of the things that you can do is you can externalize that thought loop and you can actually make it not a part of your child, but something that's kind of like almost sticking on to them. Let's say it's a little kid and the negative feeling they're having is perfectionism. And they're stuck in this perfectionistic loop about a drawing they made that they're suddenly sure is totally imperfect because they've colored outside the lines. So you can say, oh no. Hello, Mr. Perfection. Are you telling my sweet daughter that just because she colored outside the lines, it's not an okay drawing? Well, Mr. Perfection, come over here. I'm going to draw your perfect face. Here are your eyes. Here's your nose. Here's your mouth. And what? Your mouth looks like a strawberry, Mr. Perfection, your mouth looks like a strawberry. Who knew? Well, is that perfect? It is kind of perfect. It's a perfect strawberry, but it's not a perfect mouth. What? Oh, goodness, Mr. Perfection, you're pretty silly. Have you been joking with us this whole time? Well, who knew? We thought you were being serious when you were like, things have to be perfect. You just wanted us to draw you and find out that you had a strawberry and you've been joking this whole time? Well, goodness, Mr. Perfection, thank you so much for telling us your jokes. Can you do us a favor? And when we draw something and it's not perfect, will you just remind us how delicious strawberries are? Thank you. Now, that's just a weird little example of playing, but kids love that kind of play. You don't have to think too hard. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to do anything brilliant. You can do something as silly and kooky and weird as that. Truly. Because when you're trying to make sure your parenting is perfect, what you're signaling is perfection matters. So next time they're stuck in some sort of thought loop, whether that be perfection or anything else, and it feels really heavy, try externalizing it. Give it a name, give it a character, communicate with it. Help them realize it's not them, it's an outside idea that's just taking over and masquerading as part of who they are. And they can say goodbye. Now, let's say you've got an older kid, and instead the negative thought loop is one of nobody likes me, I'm not good enough. You can still do the same thing, but of course, you're not going to be as silly about it. You really don't want that child to feel like you're patronizing them or condescending to them or not taking it seriously. Say, hey, what part of you feels that way? Yeah? Did somebody say something like that to you? Hmm. What's the part of you that says that to you? Yeah. Are there other parts of you that feel differently? Now, of course, if you're really worried about your kid's mental health, it's always a good idea to escalate the situation. Talk to a counselor at school, maybe look at therapy, or look at other alternatives. Not all kids are going to respond that well to therapy. Sometimes getting them a passion or getting them on a sports team, helping them find a place they can feel good about themselves is better than talking about how they don't feel good. So there are many different pathways to go, and I hope this gives you a window into just a few of them.